Look at them faces I make at the beginning. Isn't that ridiculous? Yeah. Okay. Maybe okay, I'm doing something different. It's a really challenge. What is the deal? So, do we have sound? If anybody is jumping on, you'll have to say yes, sound, why, yes, N for no, or something that there's sound. It doesn't tell me any, it just says I have input into it. I don't know if it gets to the other end of the internet. All right, so we give it another shot. I say we give it another shot, unless you all tell me different. So this is April 26th, and I'm going to do this daily fire. So I take out a lot that I had, or maybe a lot I had, and we'll just go with what we got. How's that sound? All right. So you can catch this later, whatever, on the replay or something. Hey, if you can't have some joy in life, if you can't have the peace of God, I mean, what you gonna do in life? Where can I go? Today's scripture in this God's great care, concentrated care, and Angela, is there sound? I've got to know if there's sound because we did this whole thing. It's like no sound again. I'm gonna got to get a new computer. Can't work with this outdated stuff. you know, let's live life and let's live it. Oh, you say loud and clear. I see it loud and clear. Okay, got it. Yes. Now yeah. I should have put on. Hey, where can I go from your spirit? This is from Psalm 139, 7 through 10. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the earth, even there your hand shall guide me. Actually, it says, let me get it correct. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand will lead me. Your right hand shall hold me. Psalm 139, 7 through 10. Isn't that good? I'm going to tell you, that is really good. How about Hebrews 13:5? One we're familiar with when we hear it if we don't know the reference. He himself said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Now that is good. That's good news. And so I was sharing something the other day before I come back to this, how that if you think you don't hear God's voice, Jesus said, what? Really, my followers, because the sheep follow the shepherd, my sheep hear my voice. The Spirit of God given to us is always in connection with God's voice. So let's give an example here. If you don't think you hear God's voice, but you sense His great peace, or His joy working in your life, or His love, compassion, whatever, you have a sense of that in your life. Is not that the Spirit of God speaking to you? It is. See, we try to connect to God through our minds, and we do put on the renewed mind, the mind of Christ. But God connects through us primarily, or chiefly, by the Spirit. So what we really need to come in connection with is the Spirit of God within us, because it's always in connection. But our mind may lack understanding or not get it. But that's okay because our spirit's getting it. So we need to connect with the Spirit even more. Isn't that good? Because He's never going to leave you nor forsake you. Even though everything goes to, they would say H-E-double-L, but to pot, I think. It seems like our states are going to pot. That's a figure of speech, of course. And I'm not suggesting or recommending that in any way. It's just like, yeah. And don't give me the stories that God put grass everywhere. It must be okay. Oh, come on, people. Anyway, well, you can distill stuff and make alcohol, right? So you should just drink away. I don't know. You should have a merry heart because the joy of the Lord is to be your strength. And see, I'm just being infused with all that's happened this morning, the little troubles I had, little minor things. I just sense God's great joy at work in my life and in my heart. So I'm lighthearted, even though, little things have come my way. Now let's continue on this God's great care. Listen to this verse that you don't know. This is a verse, if you know this, you better write me and tell me you know this. It's Ezekiel 16:4-7. Already we're in a place we don't read so often. As for your nativity, on the day you were born, your navel cord was not cut, nor were you washed in water to cleanse you, nor were you rubbed with salt, nor wrapped in swaddling cloths. No eye pitied you. Do not any of these nor I pitied you to do any of these things for you, to have compassion on you. But you were thrown into the open field. When you yourself were loathed on the day you were born, when I passed by you and saw you struggling in your own blood, I said to your blood, live. Yes, I said to your blood, live. I made you thrive like a plant in the field, and you grew, matured, and became very beautiful. Now that's pretty incredible. Kings and all that, when they're born, they're supposed to do the swaddling clothes and salt them, meaning not figure of speech, the Eastern custom that they would mean what they say and say what they mean. They would be royalty. And so here's someone that's not royalty, not special. He's just thrown to the wayside. But God says he saw you and he valued you. So let's look at this. Ezekiel 16 likens the concentrated care of God to finding a newborn child cast out, which God, saved, nursed, and nourished to become, in this case, he says, a beautiful woman, a beautiful person. Context. This parable typified God's intentions with all of humanity. Now that's something to rejoice about. When he brought the world and its inhabitants into existence, God did not walk away and leave us to our own devices. Now, some parents do that, don't they, with their children? Not God. Not even when we are deliberately broke away. The Creator and his creation bond can never be annulled or put away, right? Same. No matter how far we draw away, our existence is dependent on God, who gave us the air we breathe, the light we need that brings photosynthesis for oxygen and plant growth and all. So God didn't leave us to our own devices. No matter how far we draw away, our existence dependent on him. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you are there. Psalm 139:8, of what we read a little bit ago. Isn't that exciting? Oh, that ought to just thrill you. Okay. The link between the Creator and his creation may be stretched as slender as a spider's thread, but cannot be broken. He is always aware of us. Remember, he engraved us on the palms of his hands. His hand. So how often do we think we are alone in the world? And it is always an uphill struggle to find where God must be hiding. Yet know that this concentrated care that God lavishes on you, whether or not you recognize his hand active in your life, he gives because he wants to, because he cares for you, because he loves you, not because you earned it or deserve it. His love for you is without limit, and his gift of salvation, where your estrangement from him, your separation from him, is erased, and you are drawn close to his heart. That's the daily fire. There you go, right? Really good. Now, I want to play something. I played this in our fellowship the other day. It's like a minute and a half. It's less than 2 minutes long. And it's about the words, it is finished. In the Bible, when Jesus on the cross, it is finished. And here's an explanation that is probably more than most of us have heard. oh, we've heard some great things. Our redemption was completed. His resurrection sealed it. Really, I mean, it's done. But when he got up, that's how we got access to our redemption and the completeness of his work. So I'm going to play this thing. Let me get it turned up. Get the mic face the right direction. Don't do that. Don't mute it. Here we go.
Greek word for it is finished is the one word, tetelestai. It was a word that was used in business, which meant tetelestai, the debt is fully paid. It was also used in judgment and the court system, which meant the sentence is fully served. And then it was also used as a military term, tetelestai, which meant the battle has been fully won. So when Jesus said it is finished, this is what's going to bring you rest. He meant three things. Your debt of sin is fully paid. The sentence for punishment and judgment for us, for what we deserve, the time of being in bondage has been fully served. And the battle against the devil and sin and all the enemies of sickness and disease and viruses, the battle has been fully won. Rest in the finished work of the cross. It is finished. Tetelestai.
Cut it off short. I think he still got it. It's finished. Oh my. Oh my. Isn't that something? This was sent to me. I was really blessed. I think Catherine sent this to me. It was Catherine Krause. What a blessing. Anyway, you got it. If you want it, hey, send me a note, messenger. I'll send this 1.5-minute file. So if I miss 30 seconds at the end or whatever, you'll get it. That the work on the cross is finished. Every barrier between us and God was torn down, and it was made so we could fully come to him without anything keeping us separate from him. Isn't that's just incredible, isn't? So I'm so grateful you sent that to me, and we truly have much to be thankful for. So why don't you take that, go in your day, send me that note if you want a copy of that in Messenger, and let's choose to believe what God has declared. He's never left us nor forsaken us. He's always there for us. He's always lifting us. And because the Spirit of God in us, the Christ in you, is so intimately connected with him with no separation, that you're always being fused with his life in your inner life. And that what he's promised has to absolutely come to pass because he undersigned it himself. Have this day with your Father where you're in his care and all the realities that are yours are enjoyed in their fullness.